Hi everybody, this is your learning to breathe follow-up to the shrug it off shoulder tension workshop that we did. I appreciate your patience in letting me follow up with the recording. So we'll get started. You can come lying down onto your mat and separate the feet wider than hip width distance apart. Let the knees drop in towards each other. I like to have something soft for under my head, and ideally if you can find something that will fold enough times that you'll lift the head up, you'll elevate the head with the forehead just slightly higher than the chin, that's best. You don't want your chin lifting up towards the ceiling. It's not calming on the nervous system, which is of course what we're trying to do through this breath meditation and really through the duration of any yoga practice. So something soft under the head, close the eyes, let the knees drop in. Just take a moment to get grounded, both literally, physically, feel your feet on the earth. Feel the tailbone releasing towards the floor. Soften and relax the lower back. Notice the expansion of your rib cage as you inhale. Feel the contraction of your abdominals at the very end of your exhale. Count the length of your breath. And see if you can add on 1 or 2 seconds to that length. Breathing in for a count of 4 or 5. And exhaling either for the same amount or slightly longer. So I'd like you to pay attention to something specifically as you inhale. And it might help to have your hand on the upper chest. So bring the hand to rest on the upper chest. As you inhale, notice if your chest rises or the shoulders lift. It's just a little bit easier to observe using the hand as a tool. Again, notice if the chest rises or if the shoulders lift when you breathe in. And this is really the key aspect of this 3-part breathing practice, is trying to keep the upper chest still as you inhale, keep the shoulders soft. And if you take the opposite hand, bring it to rest on the lower belly. Attempt to bypass the upper chest and shoulders entirely as you pull the breath all the way downwards into the lower hand. You'll feel the lower hand lift slightly on inhale and draw back towards the earth as you exhale. We'll do a few rounds of breath, just paying attention to what's happening through the chest and shoulders when you breathe in. If when you inhale, the chest and shoulders are soft and still, and you do pull the breath all the way down towards the lower belly, then that's awesome, you're all set. If, however, you do feel that the chest rises when you breathe in, the chest puffs outwards towards the sky, then chances are maybe you have tight neck muscles, shoulder muscles, upper chest, because all of the muscles that should be used to breathe deeply are not being accessed, and instead the muscles around the jaw, neck, and shoulders are being used. They're intended to be soft as you breathe in. More diaphragmatic breathing, expansion of the rib cage as you inhale. So we'll focus on a 3-part breath, and you can bring the hands wherever is comfortable. That may not be belly and chest, but if you find that to be a useful tool, then go ahead and keep your hands there. First part, lower belly. So breathe in, you're bypassing the chest and the shoulders. Pull the breath all the way down towards the lower belly. Feel the belly rise upwards. And as you exhale, feel the navel softening back towards the spine. Visualize a baby sleeping. Before that baby has been taught to suck in its stomach or puff out its chest, it's just breathing comfortably and naturally. The belly rises like a balloon upwards towards the ceiling on inhale and softens down with the exhale. So that's part 1. Part 2, moving on to the rib cage, we're adding on. Inhale, breathe the breath all the way downwards into the lower belly, and then into the side ribs. Exhale, same thing, feel the ribs soften inwards towards each other, feel the navel dropping down towards the earth. Inhale, lower belly, belly rises, rib cage expands outwards to the sides. Exhale, ribs soften inwards and navel to the spine. 2 more times. Breathing in, lower belly, side ribs. Exhale, softening inwards, navel to the spine. Lower belly, side ribs. Exhale, rib cage inwards, navel to the spine. So that's part 2 of the 3-part breath. Now we move towards the upper chest, where there is a bit of not so much lifting towards the ceiling, but the clavicle bones, so your collarbones here, widen outwards to the sides. From the center of the chest, from your sternum, collarbones widen outwards towards the shoulders. That's the 3rd part. So you're breathing in, lower belly rises, rib cage expands outwards to the sides, and at the very top of that inhale, feel the collarbones widen away from each other. Exhale, soften everything back inwards, closing with navel to the spine and deep core abdominals engaging. We'll do 3 rounds like that. And it can help to close the eyes, help visualize if you want. Breathing in, low belly, side ribs, collarbones broaden, and feel the collarbones soften inwards, rib cage softening inwards, navel to the spine. 2 more times. The belly, side ribs, collarbones. Exhale, exhale, exhale. And last one. Then take just a moment and notice how the body feels. Notice your state of mind. If you discovered that you are somebody who breathes using the upper portion of the chest, then I highly recommend that you practice this three-part breathing once a day, maybe 5 minutes, if you can, 3 times a day. It's easiest to explore when you're lying down on the floor. But once you've mastered that, then maybe attempt it upright and then standing, and then while you're doing some other activity, so that eventually that becomes your habitual pattern, the 3-part breath. And notice how that will influence tension through the jaw, neck, and shoulders. So we'll walk the feet forward, stretch the arms up overhead, lengthen out the spine. With your right hand, take your left wrist and hinge over to the left. Now we stretch the intercostal muscles in between the ribs, another accessory muscle of breathing, so that they have enough elasticity to respond to that 3-part breath. Inhale, come back to center. Change hands as you exhale. Left hand takes right wrist. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, hinge over to the left. Breathe deeply into the right rib cage. And come back to center. Hug your knees into your chest. One hand on either knee. You can rock from side to side. And stretch the right arm up overhead, rock onto your right side, fetal-like position. Press into your left hand, lift yourself up, face forward, palms meet. Thank you for joining me. Happy breathing. Namaste.